again, we switched place. It was too hot in there. Um, definitely, we over the years we have quite a few success, and one of them is dressing Wyclef Jean. Um, and we dressed quite a few celebrities, and it's something that we've been trying to do for a very long time. And looking back at where we started to where we are now, I would definitely everything has been very successful in a way. Not financially. We're still struggling with that part, which will be the downfall, is that we have no money. I have absolutely no money at this point to do anything anymore. In a way, it kind of make things a little hard to do because then we have to kind of substitute details, substitute ideas because we don't know how it's gonna be made because I'll have to make it, and how much is it gonna cost to make. So because of that, it's a major thing. The fact that finance is a big deal right now. But in terms of our success, look, we're going to Nigeria next week to do Ori's Fashion Week magazine, Ori's Magazine Fashion Week. 80 designers, and we're one of them. And that to me is a big major thing because how many 28 years old designers that you know that's going to Nigeria and do shows, and how many big designer, I mean 28 years old young man from a different country that's dressing celebrities, that's getting award. We were designers of the year last year. I'm grateful for where we are right now, but we are pushing for even more. So, and some of our success is the stuff that we're able to pull off, dressing celebrities, getting our name out there, getting a lot of press and all that extra stuff. And then the downfall is the fact that there's absolutely no money. My mom and I, we pretty much fund everything that you see here. The money comes from my parents and my own money, my personal money. I'm talking about like I need to go to work. I'm using my train money to buy fabric type of thing. So, I love Bergdorf. I always feel this sense of class when you walk in there. It's not because they sell luxury and expensive stuff, but as a designer and as a consumer, I'm gonna give this one in a consumer's perspective, is that I love walking into a store when garments are being treated with care. There's actually, you almost don't want to touch them, but you know, it's there, it's retail, you have to touch. But it's so nicely prepped and so nicely represented. There's a salesman there that's willing to help you. Customer service is on point. It looks like a big museum of clothes that you can actually purchase. It's like walking into, you know, a museum and you see this beautiful piece of art, but this time you can actually buy it and take it home with you. And I love Bergdorf because of that. It shows, it gives a lot of class. And one day, maybe not today, not tomorrow, whenever that day comes, if I have a number one list of retailer store, department store where I would love my product to be sold, it would be Bergdorf, because I would love to walk in and know that I'm not gonna find one of my gowns on the floor. That would piss me off because it takes time to do, it takes money to do. When I do it personally, I do it with care, and there's a lot of passion that goes in my work. And to come in, it's kind of like walking in front of the White House and see the American flag on the floor. Pretty much that's how it is. It will be one of these places. And of course, right now I'm not in the position to choose. Beggars cannot be choosers. So anywhere we can get our clothes to be available for people to buy would be actually amazing, and it would be like another 10 step forward that we are taking. Finally, that would be the word that I'll use, because one of the big thing right now when we do the shows are amazing, models are great, hair is on point, collection is on point. But what happened after this, after the show happens, all these clothes are just sitting there. And we have a few clients here and there that just buy the pieces off the runway, or they make an order for something. But the rest of the audience at the show is like, so where can I buy this jumpsuit? And I'm like, yeah, but that jumpsuit, right? So it would definitely means a lot to know, and I can just say, instead of scratching my head and say about that jumpsuit, I can, oh yeah, you can go to like Macy's, even Target. I'm not asking for a major thing. You can say, go to Target, you know what, let's go to Walmart. You go to Walmart, you find that jumpsuit. You know, it's just having a place. It can be like a private boutique, it can be a department store, anything. to have the clothes being carried there. I know I'm in the position to open my own store. It's not part of the plan for me right now. Not to say if it happens that I wouldn't let it happen, but at the stage where I want to take baby steps. I wanna, I've done this for 10 years and I took my time to do it, and I'm in no need to rush it off right now. We still want to follow the same, model that we had before. It works for us. So baby step, the next step is getting these clothes available anywhere in the world for people to buy. And again, it means we are making money. So yes. Hi. Can I plead the fifth on that one? I don't know. I think as a designer, it's something that I didn't grow up with. Is I don't know how to win and I don't know how to lose. I don't know if that makes any sense. People might think I'm weird when you do something nice for me and I don't really react too much towards it, and they're like, oh, he's a bitch. He thinks he's all that. And I think that's the worst thing about me. But yet again, it's not because I'm trying to be a bitch. It's just that I don't know how to celebrate, because I spent my entire life struggling and working hard. There's never any time for celebration. And losing is just not part of my plan. I'm a Scorpio. We don't lose. So I really hate it. I appreciate I think someone said that to me one day, and I took it to heart. And she said, do you feel like who's your competition? And I said, I don't have a competition. Not because I think I'm better than anybody else. It's just that I feel like every designer's work is their work. It just needs to be appreciated and respected. Even though I might not like this skirt, but that's my personal feeling. It doesn't mean that I can make that skirt better. Even most of the time I can, but I don't feel like that's not the kind of person that I am. So I'm just gonna respect it and like it for what it is. And somebody say, well, you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should not like it, and that will keep you in like a competitive mindset, and I don't want that. I don't ever want to compete with anyone because it's pointless. You waste so much time competing, then you lose yourself, and that's not happening.
So what would you say is the best part and the worst part of your job?
The best part of my job, well, let's start with the worst part. The worst part of my job is making patterns. I hate making patterns. Oh God, it's such a overrated experience. And on top of that is when you meet people that thinks this fashion thing, and I'm going to say thing, you'll never hear me refer to fashion as a thing, but for this time I'm going to use that. Like, this fashion thing is just a joke. You just come in and you say, oh, I'm a designer and this is what I do. That really pisses the shit out of me. And that's the worst part for me, because here I am sitting in the back line, spending 7 years in school that I paid for personally myself, really trained myself to be to the point where I am, and you is somebody that just walked in knowing absolutely nothing, making a ridiculous fool of himself, and I kind of have to like share this moment with you, and I feel like it's not fair. And personally, it aches the shit out of me. It really aggravates me when this moment happened. It's just like, oh, why are you here? Not that you shouldn't be, but if you're entering fashion, just know your craft and be a real designer. It's disrespectful to any good designer. Any designer, period, that invested time, money, in an education and knowing their craft and investing so much in a career. You don't want to see somebody else make a fool of it. Now, the best part of my job is a little weird. The best part of anything that I've ever done is always at the end of every show when the models are doing their finale and I get to see the entire collection on the runway. And in the process of that happening, I can see the audience reaction towards it. In my case, so far so good. I've not had a bad review about the collection, except that it called me a bag of Skittles in one review, which is not, I mean, it's true. I showed you, it's pink turquoise. It's like the Skittle exploded in here. But it's having the reaction of, I even had someone, my last show, my Spring 12, which was in Boston, and these couples that's from, I almost want to say Trinidad or somewhere in the Caribbean, and they were just, they happened to be around where the show was, and then they saw the tent, and they said, oh my God, let's just go in. They went in and they sat at my show. And then after the show, I had the opportunity to speak to them, and they were like, oh my God, when we walked into your show, it was just like walking into a dream of a childhood growing up. And when she said that to me, it just made all the stress, all the pattern making, all the not having any money to do anything, all the BS I have to put up with on the side with producers and models and hair, the tardiness, the aggravation, the 3 packs of cigarette in one day, all the stress just went away. And I'm like, oh, my work was done. And that to me is the biggest part right there, is that the message actually got across to someone. Maybe not a whole 8 million people, maybe one. I'm just looking for one person to be a fan, not 1,000. And from one person you get 10 more. We know how that goes. And that to me was like the most amazing that she said that, because that was the whole point behind the collection, is to take you in a journey of beauty wherever you're from, even if it's Haiti or anywhere. It's taking you into that journey. And I felt like at that moment I was like, my job was done and I'm happy, even though there's no buyers.
So what are your biggest obstacles keeping you from getting your business to the next level?
Again, money. It's the only one, is the biggest one. We have PR that works with us. Everybody pretty much work on a voluntary based type of thing. If any money comes from a job, of course they get paid, but they know when they start again, they're not expecting a paycheck every Friday. I don't get a paycheck every Friday, and I've been doing this for 10 years. The only thing this gets me is to be in magazine and dressing celebrities and nothing else. Everything else, I support this business more than this business support me. Money, yeah. Downfall, if we have it, I don't even want to say money because it might sound that I'm greedy, but it's getting to the right person, it's getting the right buyer, the right person to say, oh my God, I believe in what you're doing, and then that can bring in the money. Then we can use that money and do more stuff, do more elaborate stuff. I would love to go to Haiti for like 2 months and just stay in the island with a bunch of women and then just do amazing work and come back here and say, yes, we Haitians, we know how to do this too. And the thing that separates us in the rest of the world or anywhere else is that we don't have computer generating machine to do this for us. We have to do it by hand. And that's one thing we want to do.
So you spoke a lot about your background, and just tell us a little bit more about your background and upbringing and past.
Upbringing wasn't good. I was born into a very, very young mother, and she passed away when I was a kid, and so it's the same thing with my father as well. And I grew up in the island of Haiti pretty much alone, and sometimes it was from one family to another, and we know that's never good. It's never a good thing to have your kids pass around like that. So I never really had a childhood because I had to, survival was pretty much what it was. You had to find a need to survive and make it. But when I did actually get to be here in this country, it was a different thing. It was more so, now this dream that I always had when I was a kid, it's no longer a dream, it can actually be a reality, which is fashion. And my mom now, which I'll be referring to most of the time, she's the only one I know, kind of saw that and she pushed me right into it. I remember when I came to this country in 1999, my second day here I was already in camp. It was an art camp. No English, nothing. I was already in camp. And by September, I was already in school. By February, I was taking classes at Massard for their spring break vacation art classes, and that's where it begins. I just went right into it. So upbringings is something that we're trying to keep. I only speak about it when it's needed, like a moment like this, but it wasn't hard, it wasn't easy, and I think because of my upbringing, it makes me more humble and more hungry to get what I want, because I don't want to go back there to that place again, and I do want to use my talent to go back and kind of help the next little boy that's struggling with the same thing or whatever. Alright, again, I hope we answered all the I hope I answered all the questions right for you. This is our team for today. Everybody's not here. Benita is working some business stuff, and we are getting all your information for hair and makeup, which we're about to do. We have to get back to work. This interview was quite long. And again, we want to say thank you for camera crew, Shot for Shot Production, who's gracefully enough to record us, because I wanted to send this as professional as possible. I didn't want to send a video for me that bad. So we have to say thank you to them. So anything you guys like to say about a word, what you guys are doing right now before we exit?
I just like to say thank you, and I hope you select us for the show.
Yes, and we can't wait for you guys to see our great work.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I gotta go back to work.
Bye.